Hey everyone, welcome back to Immediate Movie Reactions. I am here after watching Obsession. This is a Curry Barker film. I believe it is his debut as a director. It is written and directed by him, and damn, what a debut this is. It stars Michael Johnston, who plays Baron or Bear, and he's a young man, early 20s, I believe. They're never quite clear on ages, though some of them look to be going to college. They're definitely high school friends. And Indy Neverett, who plays Nikki, his love interest. He is madly in love with her, though she doesn't know it. They're all friends, and he's trying to profess his love to her, can't quite do it. There's some intimation that perhaps she has feelings for him, or maybe it's just friends. He can't quite make up the courage or work up the courage to tell her how he feels. It starts out with one of the most awkward scenes I've seen in a while, and I thought there was some camera work that was a mistake, where they're in a diner and the blinds are open and the people in the background, because of the blinds and the camera interacting, they're all fuzzy and weird, but that was clearly intentional, and some of the camera work is absolutely brilliant in this because they call that and they bring it back later. And so what happens is, because Bear is unable to profess his love, he goes into a magic shop, a crystal shop, whatever. That doesn't really matter. There's a product called One Wish Willow where everyone can make a wish, and he makes a wish. I thought that this movie was going to be silly and cheesy and maybe a little bit of fun. It's not fun. I would not call this a fun movie. He makes the wish that she would love him more than anyone else, and of course everything goes bad from there. We know it's going to go bad. Who is going to make that sort of a wish? You know from all media that that is a bad idea. So she becomes obsessed with him, yada, yada, yada. She starts sort of stalking him. He gets into a relationship with her. I'm going to have to give them credit. She's amazing. She's gorgeous. They never show her naked. She never gets naked in this film. I thought for sure they were going to, and credit to them for not going there. I was thinking throughout a lot of this film that if this were reversed, if this were the guy stalking and in love with her, then we would have really a horrific serial killer movie, which we've seen so many of. Instead, this is sort of an idea of what happens when you get lost in a relationship. What happens when you don't have a choice? What happens when your obsession takes over and you're trapped? And things go so fucking horribly wrong in this movie. It's absolutely crazy. I was thinking of the movie with Tim Robinson, Friendship, from a couple years back, Paul Rudd, about a male friendship that doesn't quite work out and things get weird and awkward. Didn't love that movie. I don't really love Tim Robinson. I think they tried to make it maybe a little bit too funny and didn't have some good commentary. And then Alison Brie and Dave Franco had a movie called Together, where they were this married couple. And again, it's this idea that when you're in a relationship, you become one. And in that movie, they're physically melding to each other. And I thought that was just very hammer-fisted. It was kind of bad. Whereas this movie is violent and as brutal as it becomes, and it absolutely does. Trigger warnings right from the beginning. I think it does a good job, and mainly because Johnston and Neverett are both absolutely freaking amazing in this. She is so weird and creepy and scary. I thought the sound design was off. I thought that maybe it was getting too loud in places, but it was really the crescendo of her obsession with him and her losing herself. There are moments where it gets quiet and you can hear, this is a little bit of a spoiler, you can hear the real Nikki calling out for help, and then Bear doesn't know what to do. He is just trapped in this. I want this, but then I don't want this. I know that it's wrong. It all just, it builds up to this climax that is violent and crazy and brutal, and just, I haven't felt tension like this in a movie in a very, very long time. I guess Bring Her Back, or maybe Talk to Me, was the last movie where I'm watching it and I'm like literally wanting to bite my fingers because I'm thinking, holy shit, I don't want to see what is about to happen. Even though many of the characters don't get a whole lot of screen time, you still feel for them and build them up, and you want them to be safe, even though you know they're not going to be safe. And there is sort of a moment, they all work in this record store where it's sort of like Empire Records, and you've got so many people working at this music store. Andy Richter's in this movie, though for no real reason except that it's Andy Richter. Damn, I really, really, really liked this one. I am so shocked that I liked it as much as I did. There are a few issues that I had. There's some camera work that I think is a little bit wonky, but so there's small things like they're talking and there's a clock in the background and you can see that it's 12:08, and then they continue talking, they get into bed together, and you see that it's now like 16:55 or whatever, which could potentially be explained that this is when things have changed and she gets weird and the curse is taking over. Maybe that's what it is. Also, Bear's cat dies early in this film, and it sort of keeps coming back. The cat doesn't come back, but like sort of it does. I'm not gonna say too much. But they use this big old stuffed cat, like the stuffed animal cat that's so stupid looking. And unfortunately, it takes away from some of the movie, though I think that really you have to go into more of the idea. Anyway, this is a definite winner for me. I'm going to give it an 8. I feel like maybe I could give it more, but there are some inconsistencies. There's some definite, looks in this where you're like, this is a new filmmaker just finding his way. But if this is where he's starting, I high hopes for the future, and I want to see Johnston and Navarrete again. They were both absolutely amazing, and there we are. It's an 8. Please let me know what you think. If you saw it, is it worth it? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Please like, share, subscribe. I'll see you off to the next movie.